Hi, this is Solo Over 50. I'm just out for a 1-mile walk. I've been camera shopping, and I have the patience of a saint when it comes to getting something that I really want, and need. I'm just looking for a lot of particulars, but I've researched all of the cameras that you've suggested and that I've seen other hikers use. So I'm getting it narrowed down. And now all I have to do is be patient because the new cameras will come out in spring, and while there's some good savings, they're floor models that have been handled, and they're the same price as one that's new out of the box. So I'm not sure how this wind is going to do as far as sound is concerned, but the reason why I need to get a camera, at least for sure in winter, because my iPhone that I'm using right now, the battery only lasts 10 minutes. It's 37 degrees outside today, and I just won't have battery for very long. It'll just go dead. So I'm at the point where I'm going to start my hike, so I'm going to turn the camera around. So this is the 1-mile prairie loop. It's late enough in the afternoon, so there's not very many people out. I can get it mostly to myself. Coming up in February, I think next week, I have it on my calendar, is a ski jumping competition, and I walk by that ski jump all the time during my training, and you've seen it in my videos before. I'll show it to you again when I get there. I was checking out the condition of the trail because I did get a pair of boots for snowshoeing, and I ordered them over the line, and I need to get another pair. I'm still waiting for them to come in. But we don't really have very much snow. The 12 inches that we had is already packed. I'm in trail running shoes right now, and it's fine. I don't even need boots, and I sure don't need snowshoes. So it might be that I'll just have to save those boots for another year, but we've just had really high temperatures and low snow for so many years. We did get a bout of weather that was 35 to 40 degrees below zero with the wind chill factor, and that was in January. But that comes and goes so fast. So that was not the best environment to be out in, only because your face can freeze so quickly. In about 8 minutes, your skin freezes. But I had a cold during that time, so I wouldn't have gone out anyway. So not knowing how much battery I've got left, I'm going to turn this off, and then I'll be back when I get closer to the ski jump. I took a close-up of it, but that that's sticking up in the horizon, that's an Olympic-sized ski jump. So it's pretty interesting. I was planning on going to the competition. They're charging $20 to park, and for the event, I actually could just walk in. I don't know if, my guess is they'll still charge the $20, but on the other hand, it does go towards the kids that are training and learning how to use it, and the facilities and all the stuff it takes to keep that running other than our taxes. So I'm going to see how close I can get to it today. Hopefully my camera will last. I'm at least a half a mile from it, and as soon as I shut the camera off, it goes back in my pocket so it can warm up a bit. Hopefully I can get a little bit more time out of it. I do have an Anker battery that I bought last year, less than a year ago. I'm pretty sure it's still under warranty because it no longer works. It won't take a charge at all. And I've got two different, just the one connector, but so that's really unfortunate that that doesn't work because that was my backup for this camera in the winter. So just the fact that the iPhone battery, just gets chewed up too much using video, I'm just going to get a different camera that will let me zoom in so close that it will look like we're standing on top of that ski jump. So that's the camera I'm looking at. I think it's the Nikon S9900. Has 30 times optical zoom, and there's flags on top of that which you can't see right now, but with that zoom it would look like we were standing next to the flag. It's really worth it because because I travel solo into the wilderness, I had one bay campsite to myself, and the only other neighbors, was a cow moose and two calves. And they were at the shoreline romping and playing, and I just sat there in my canoe as still as possible from a really good distance, and just luckily the wind was in my favor. It was a calm day, so I could just sit there and watch. But if I had had a good camera with zoom, oh my gosh, you would be seeing the most spectacular close-up shots. Same true for the two eagles that were playing with that seagull on the lake. I would have had that captured. So, I've had eagles fly right over my head, 30 feet above me with their legs down, their talons extended, going over the bow of my canoe, and they plucked a walleye out of the lake to my left. I was in the canoe in the morning. Oh my goodness, what a shot that would have been. So you can see why, for me, I don't go into the wilderness very often, but when I do, I have a knack for seeing wolf, bear, moose, all the animals that people just love to get shots of. So it's worth going solo, just because, for one, you're usually quieter, unless, of course, you're with a party that is also being as silent as possible in order to get animal shots. So that's really my motive for doing that. Going solo, you get great shots of wildlife. Lovely day. I only have one glove on. I need to get the gloves that will let me start my camera, but maybe not for my new camera. So I'm going to put the camera away and try to warm it up a bit. I'll be back. So instead of taking the prairie loop for about 1 mile, I took a detour for about another mile to go down to where the ski jump is. So what you just saw was where I came from. The video I've taken so far has taken about 25% of my battery. I wanted to make sure I had enough to get this. So that's the warming house. It's new. This is at the far north end of the park. There's the parking lot through the trees. And I presume that the spectators will be on this side since the other side is super steep. So, can't see the jump very well from here, but it would be easy to see the jumpers. The 12 inches of snow really helped. One year they had to cancel because there was no snow at all. They've had to cancel the John Bear Grease dog sledding race because of no snow for a couple of years, which is pretty unusual. But this year they were able to hold it, and a Minnesotan won. So good for them. Well, I completely lost sight of the slide itself. The other side, from here it doesn't look like you could stand there, but I'm thinking that you could. And I would think that people that wanted to climb that super steep hill right there could get up there to see it. They have what I call a baby jump. Although I think I'd be too big of a baby to go down, at least without some sort of training or instruction. Practice, maybe? Having never done it before. Oh, there's the big jump. Better shot. How'd you like to jump off that bad boy? Or bad girl? They have some Olympic rings on this building, so I imagine that there are some kids that start their Olympic dreams here. And there's the not so baby jump. It must seem awfully easy to the people that are trained for the bigger jump. I don't know if they're going to have mid-level competition. I assume so since it's groomed. The weather's 37, so the snow is perfect snowball weather. Great for making a snowman. They've got steps going up there. Well, I don't know if anyone that jumps there will ever see this, but I certainly do wish them the very best and that they have a wonderful time, that they're safe and uninjured and just do a fantastic job, which I'm sure they will. Okay, I am headed back. Ooh, there's the trail they have to walk up to get to the top. Fascinating. Well, since I didn't have good enough zoom on my phone camera, I decided the only way I was going to get a picture of the slide was to climb the same hill that the skiers do. It's really a monster. I'm not even sure I'd want to drive the cat that has to go up and down the slope to groom the trail. Holy cats. Pun intended. It's called a piston bully. So I'm at the very top where they would come off the jump. It looks like they must have judges' chairs. Lagunitas Brewing Company, proud to support our high-flying athletes. And people support you for supporting our USA ski jumping athletes. Okay, this is groomed, so I don't want to step anywhere near it because it's in preparation. So I'm going to turn off the camera and make my way to a safe spot to take a picture down the hill, down the jump. Well, hi everybody. I'm back. It's really dark outside. Why? Because the sun went down and my camera died. So here was my intent today, to just stop off and go 1 mile, easy, flat prairie loop, just to get out and get a mile under my feet. And then it looked really interesting to go towards the ski jump, which I know is going to be part of the competition this week. So I thought I'd get some footage of it just so you could see it in daytime. So that was another mile, maybe a little bit more. And then I thought, well, why not climb all the way up to the top, because I'd never been up there, and then you could see it from the top looking down, how steep it is, rather just from the bottom looking up. So I climbed all the way up. It's so incredibly steep. It's really great for stretching out your calves, though. So, and my La Sportiva Raptors did, once again, a superb job of keeping traction when it was so steep, and I'm walking on snow, going both up and down. I did have my one hiking pole with me to help do some braking going down. But it took me about 3 minutes to catch my breath. It was so steep, quite the workout. I got to the top and got a little bit of footage, as you could see. And then my camera went completely dead. It was at 75% when I arrived, but then it just got cold and drained the battery. I think it had been okay when I was taking it out and then putting it in my pocket to warm up, but I kept it out too long. So by the time I climbed to the top of this monstrosity, my camera just didn't have enough juice left to show it to you. That's the same thing that happened this summer. If you saw my video for the Superior Hiking Trail trip that I did, I climbed to the top of Mystery Mountain, Lookout Mountain, and it's not a mountain except by Minnesota standards, but not to anybody else that has real mountains. But point being, very steep and long. But once I got to the most beautiful part of the entire trip, the entire trail, my camera lost memory and wouldn't let me delete some of the other videos that I was willing to delete in order to make space for this fantastic vista at the top of this mountain and this gorge. And oh my gosh, it was so pretty. So that didn't happen, and today didn't happen, but trust me, it was really pretty. I'll try to get back up there, but in the meantime, this is it. This is all I've got. So thank you for joining me on the part that you did see, and I'll see if I am closing in on my camera choice. I did some more research online tonight, so that should be coming soon. Take care. Have a wonderful Super Bowl Sunday. I hope your team that you're rooting for wins. Go Broncos.